Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone. If you've been following me on my Instagram, then you've been noticing that I've been putting a lot of quotes out, thoughts, inspiration, ideas, and so forth that are built on the foundation of positive thinking. And one of the reasons why I decided to do this is because I realize that many of us were taught how to do positive behaviors through a place of negativity or force. For example, say you were growing up and you had a bad habit, and someone told you not to do that thing, and did it from a place of force, either emotional force, or some of us might have actually experienced physical force. And as a result of that experience or that learning, we have integrated in ourselves the manifestation of not doing that behavior, but infused within that lesson that we learned is anger and stress and frustration that we experience from the teacher. That information, emotional information, has gone into our subconscious mind, and as we go through life, we attract and we create scenarios in the external world that are built on that foundation of negativity that was infused in the learning. So thus, I made a commitment to myself to encourage that when we learn, we do it from a positive perspective. We encourage ourselves to remove any kind of disempowering beliefs or emotions that we have in ourselves that were infused and that were learned through various learning experiences that we had in our life. And it is my goal through these videos and these discussions that when you, as a teacher, and we're going to talk about this later, how to motivate others, or as somebody that inspires others as a leader, infuses learning and teaching, understanding, and wisdom in the other person from a place of positivity, not from a place of force. Because when we do that, we instill not only the idea that we're looking to instill, but the emotion of anger and force in the other person, and then they go out and create accordingly. So thus, it's important for us to develop a positive mental attitude. And by positive mental attitude, I'm not talking about looking at reality from a delusional perspective. It's about understanding that you create your own reality and that your subconscious mind is constantly manifesting scenarios and circumstances based on what's within you, within your subconscious mind from programming that you've experienced in your past. And now that you're on this journey of personal development, the goal is to continuously rewrite disempowering belief systems, to remove those limiting beliefs that you have within yourself and replace them with positive, uplifting, and empowering beliefs. And as you go about life, you start to experience negative scenarios, we reflect back and we resolve them within. It's not about the other person, it's not about the circumstance, it's about the meaning that we give to it. And we can change the meaning through developing a positive mental attitude. Now, from a pragmatic sense, why is this important? Well, think about it from the perspective of being an entrepreneur. As you're building a business, you're going to experience a lot of different scenarios, circumstances. A lot of them are going to scare you, evoke fear, frustration, anger, whatever kind of emotion that you're not looking to experience within you as a result of that circumstance or that environment. And it's how we respond to those circumstances that really determine if we're going to move forward and make success a reality. There's one of my favorite audios, As a Man Thinketh, and he says in there that circumstance reveals to us about ourselves. Reveals to us about ourselves. In other words, whatever circumstance, when you've got a vision, you got a goal, and you say, I'm going to move towards this goal, whatever circumstance that shows up, you have the power to give it a meaning. In my subconscious training program, I talk about the importance of giving empowering meaning to whatever shows up as far as circumstance or environmental condition or a behavior in another person as a result of a clear vision that you have, and realize that everything is revealing to you about yourself. This will allow you to catch yourself if you're giving a disempowering or negative meaning to a circumstance that happens to you and change it real time into a positive one so you can move forward towards creating that vision. Actions create clarity is one of my favorite words or phrases or sentences. And it's really powerful because as you take action, you are being revealed about yourself. You are stimulating the environment. And it's the meaning that you give to the stimulus or the response that you get from the environment that's going to determine the next action that you take. If you're building a business, then the actions that you take influence the environment, and you're going to get feedback, whether it be feedback that you want or feedback that you dislike. The feedback that you want is probably going to help you move towards your objective. Perhaps it's a sale or whatever. And I want you to look at it this way. The feedback that you don't want is also helping you. It's the meaning that you give to that feedback that is either empowering you or disempowering you. Any kind of feedback that you get, you can give an empowering meaning where you can reflect back and you can optimize and go back again and do another behavior or take another action and adjust yourself to create the results that you want. You can change your world. You can change your world. You can achieve anything worthwhile in life. It is necessary to set high goals for yourself and want to achieve them. Limitation is within the mind. We learn limitation through various experiences that we have growing up and different kinds of meanings that we give to circumstances as a result of failure or not getting what we want. The meaning that we give to it is something that we learn from others. Maybe in earlier stages of life, when you experienced failure, you gave it a very disempowering meaning, a very negative emotion, or perhaps others around you were enforcing that negative meaning. They were laughing at you, or they were giving you a hard time just because you took action and made a mistake. You will replay that over and over again, not just in your mind, but in the external world with the people around you, if you do not resolve that within. In Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, and I mentioned this in the last video that I did, Acres of Diamonds, he talks about eliminating fear, indecision, and doubt. He says that the sixth sense, or the connection with infinite intelligence, can never be maintained in a mind that has fear, doubt, and indecision. And one of my more recent quotes that I put out in my Instagram, you can check out my Instagram in the link in the description, is the quote about the Garden of Eden from the Bible. And I believe that the Garden of Eden refers to the mind of a person, and that the forbidden fruit is fear, doubt, and indecision. Now, why is that the forbidden fruit? Well, it is the forbidden fruit because if you consume fear, doubt, or indecision, you will manifest behaviors accordingly. You will mold the external world to shape that which is reflected on within the doubt, the fear, and the indecision. And you have a choice to not consume the fear, the doubt, and the indecision. You have to first believe it's possible, and then you have to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to remove fear, doubt, and indecision from the activities that you do towards creating your vision. And thus, when you set a goal high, when you set a high enough goal, you're more likely to reveal these doubts, insecurities, fears that you have within yourself, and you can make it an opportunity to overcome them. You can change the meaning that you give to them. You can adjust your actions so that you can move forward in a positive way towards creating your vision. You could learn about yourself and the different experiences that you have in your life from your past and how it created the way of thinking that you have right now. And you can forgive yourself and you can forgive your past. You can heal your past. You can heal yourself so that those fears don't show up again, and you can move to higher and higher levels of success. So this is why we set high goals. Goals that are easy are not going to be as revealing as goals that are more challenging and may seem on the surface impossible. Do you tend to blame the world? If you do, memorize the self-motivator. If the man is right, his world will be right. In the Bible it says, "As you believe, so it shall be done unto you." So it shall be done unto you is the vision that you will create when you hold true to it. As you believe is the way you will create that vision. If you believe that success is going to be stressful, hard, frustrating, you're going to create it accordingly. You're going to create businesses, or you're going to look for opportunities and jobs and people to associate with and environments that's going to bring you the success, but from that perspective. If you believe that life is a revealing journey about yourself, and that the challenges and frustrations that you have are elements that you can overcome, and it's not part of your life, but something that you're going through to get to a higher level, then that's a more empowering belief to help you identify within yourself disempowering programming in your subconscious mind that came from experiences and write it over to the positive sense, in which then you realize that you are right within, or you make yourself right within, and the world reflects it accordingly. So as you believe, so it shall be done unto you. So believe that you can change your current circumstance by giving it an empowering meaning. And what you'll find is that you'll automatically manifest the behaviors that will move you into the direction of creating your vision from a place of joy, fulfillment, growth, and contribution. He mentions the 17 success principles, so let's discuss about these. Number 1, a positive mental attitude. The habit of focusing your actions and thoughts on one high and desirable goal in life. In The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, he mentions creating one goal. In Think and Grow Rich, it's referred to as the definite chief aim. The reason why we do this is because when you have one goal, a singular goal, it's easy to identify the various things that show up in your environment that reveal to you about yourself, because you can relate it back to the goal. And this is why I'm a huge fan of the Robert Dilts model. Because from your goal, your identity, your deep level identity, how you believe yourself to be, is revealed to you. And you can change that. And a good discussion I did on how to change that was Maxwell Maltz's book, Psycho-Cybernetics. You can change your values and beliefs, and you can develop certain core capabilities, certain skills to bring forth your vision. In business, that would be skills like marketing, selling, innovation, copywriting, monetization, leadership skills, many different capabilities that you could focus on to create your vision. And the key is focus. Do the things necessary to bring forth your vision. Guide your thoughts on the wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard will put it. And you will surround yourself with only that which is related to your goals, and you will do those things. Number 2, definiteness of purpose. The habit of working in complete harmony with others for the attainment of a specific objective. Specific objective. Definiteness of purpose. Here's your purpose. Here's your vision. And I recommend watching the video that I did on Ikigai. Doing what you love from a place of love, what the world needs, and then what you can get paid to do. Definiteness of purpose and aligning everything in your life, your behaviors and your capabilities, your values, your beliefs, the different areas of your life, down to your relationships, to be in alignment with that definiteness of purpose. That's how you live a meaningful life, and that's how everything that I mentioned on this channel and in this video will bring forth a lot of revelations about yourself. This is a journey, as mentioned, the Garden of Eden. This is a journey into your mind. As you're sitting there, realize that it is you that is creating your own reality, and it is a net result of what is in your mind. Do you eat from the forbidden fruit of fear, doubt, and indecision? Or do you enjoy everything else that is in the Garden of Eden? All that which you can create or you can utilize to create that which will support your vision. The choice is yours, and the key to creating your vision and not being distracted by fear, doubt, and indecision, or using it as a tool of revelation to yourself, is definiteness of purpose. Number 3, going the extra mile. The habit of doing more than one is required for you with the expectation, or required of you with the expectation of receiving greater compensation from direct or indirect sources. The goal is to always do more than you get paid for. This is one of the most important things that I learned in corporate. Something I learned when I used to listen to Brian Tracy's 21 Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires over and over again when I was about 25 or 26 years old. And one of the things that he mentioned is to always, with everything you do, look to create more value. It's important then to take inventory of all the areas that you contribute to your market, to your clients, to your prospects, to your job, to those that you serve, and figure out creative ways that you can do even more. The law of compensation states that you will get what you put out. What you put out will come back to you. If you put out value, you will receive value in exchange for that value that you put out in the way that you want to be compensated. Some might want to be compensated with money. Some might want to be compensated with spiritual rewards. Some might want to be compensated with surrounding of certain kinds of abundance that is meaningful to them. Whatever you put out will come back to you in that quantity. So thus, if you're not receiving as much as you like, it's important to realize that you can, in this moment, figure out ways to put out even more so that it will be in harmony to what you would like to receive. Accurate thinking. The habit of making decisions and forming opinions that are based on factual information and tangible evidence. So the important thing to remember is that there's laws of the universe. There's spiritual laws, there's physical laws of this world that we live in, and we can work with these laws to create the results that we want. The concept like infinite intelligence or cosmic energy or the sixth sense is not very concrete, and it is something that is understood through the word faith. It is through faith that you develop a connection with your intuition to infinite intelligence. This is something that will give you the hunches, the creativity, the visions, and the inspirations. It is my belief that visions are the language of infinite intelligence. That's how infinite intelligence communicates to you, through visions, through ideas. If you look around the world, all these things that we've created, technology and so forth, are a net result of somebody's vision. Now, when we're talking about factual information, we're also realizing that in order to create that vision, we are being guided to work with the elements of physical reality as well. There are laws. There are laws that govern society. There are laws as far as nature, cause and effect. It's important to work with all these elements and embrace all of them if you're looking to create success. And accurate thinking is the way. One of my favorite things that I like to do when I'm consulting and coaching is to look at the vision that someone is looking to create, and then reverse engineer all the capabilities that need to be identified that one would have to cultivate to be able to bring forth that vision. And then look at the values and beliefs, and look at the behaviors, and look at the environments, look at the deep identity level. Again, all of this is referring to the Robert Dilts model, and restructure everything for the individual so it's all in alignment. Everything, all in alignment. And from there, strategies, nuance points, ideas, different kinds of tactics will manifest. There's a lot of things that you can do to grow your business. Much of it I've covered in the video that I did with Mr. X, or Jay Abraham's book, Mr. X. I recommend you watch that. 3 hours. Business strategies and techniques to help you grow your business. Take your vision and watch that video and figure out how you can take what is taught in that video and in the other videos to further create and integrate accurate thinking. There's your vision and the things that you have to do to bring forth your vision. And a lot of the things are capabilities. For example, as an entrepreneur, I realized that one of the most important skills that I can develop is marketing. Peter Drucker mentions marketing and innovation being the 2 core skills of an entrepreneur, and everything else being an expense. So thus, I took it very seriously and developed my marketing skills. And in the body of knowledge of marketing, you got consultative selling, you got direct response marketing, you got copywriting, and a whole bunch of different marketing disciplines. If you learn these, then when you create a vision of what you want to put out that is of real value into the marketplace, it's going to be far easier to bring that forth because you will know who to communicate, when to communicate with, and how to communicate with. And on top of it, you're going to value things like lifetime client value. You're going to understand how to bring in more clients, increase the transactional value. Again, this is kind of stuff that I talked about in the Mr. X video. And get them to come back and buy again and again by creating related products and services so you can better serve your clients. All of this is a form of accurate thinking, and there's much more of it. What is that accurate thinking for you as far as your vision? You want to create your vision, and you have to make sure you have accurate thinking in the realm of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and they all have to be in alignment. You cannot neglect one or you're missing out on opportunity. Number 5, self-discipline. Self-discipline is enforced by controlling your thoughts and your actions towards a specific outcome. And by the way, this does not have to be done from a place of force. You do not have to discipline yourself by forcing yourself. If you do your affirmations and autosuggestions, you will begin to program your subconscious mind, and you will notice that your behaviors will change automatically. Then it's important to surround yourself, and this is where you apply self-discipline, by information and people and circumstances and environments that support that vision, that support that subconscious mind affirmation. And then what you'll find is that self-discipline will become easy. Perfect example is if you're looking to hit a fitness goal, you wouldn't surround yourself by going to restaurants that serve greasy, unhealthy food. You would surround yourself with people that are also on that same goal, that are looking to achieve fitness success, and they will choose, without even you suggesting, proper restaurants and food choices, and just by being around them, you'll have no choice but to make selections from those menus. And that's not going to require any force because you're going to feel like eating, and those are the choices available. How could you set up your life so that self-discipline is automatic? This involves thinking accurately. It goes back to point number 4. Number 6, the mastermind. The mastermind effort is to get those of like mind, form an alliance to work actively in the spirit of perfect harmony towards accomplishing a definite purpose. Now, all of these are connected. You got to have a positive mental attitude towards your vision. Become enthusiastic and excited about your vision by affirming it into your subconscious mind, and autosuggestion is one of the only known principles, as identified in Think and Grow Rich, to form the principle of faith. And when you have faith in your vision, you get excited. And when you get excited towards your vision, you start to have definiteness of purpose. Definiteness of purpose becomes a normal way of being, a normal state of mind when you have a positive mental attitude towards your vision. You're going to then want to automatically go the extra mile because you're going to love what you do. Again, refer back to the Ikigai video. Accurate thinking is going to be the norm for you. You're going to sift and sort and know the difference between signal versus noise. That what is related to your vision and that what is not. And self-discipline becomes easier because you consciously choose and you subconsciously choose that what is related to your vision. I know a lot of people that have success in business, and even myself at this stage, most of my behaviors are automatic. I wake up, I go to the gym, I do my thing, I work, I put in the effort, and I focus on highest and best use, and I'm always evaluating my time, energy, resources, opportunity cost to figure out how to get even more yield out of those elements. And that's something that has become automatic throughout the years. And my environment, my friends, my mastermind, as we're talking about right now, is all a reflection of that. Surround yourself with people, circumstance, and environments that are related to your vision. You are the sum of the 5 that you choose to invest your time in. You have 24 hours a day, and your subconscious mind is constantly being influenced within those hours. It's important then to choose your environments carefully. The subconscious mind does not reject. It will only accept that what is within its awareness. And if you're around negative, disempowering information and people, and they're not contributing towards your vision, then you're going to be bouncing back and forth and constantly going from positive to negative and not really getting the kind of results that you want. So it's important then to consciously choose your mastermind. Who are they? What are the characteristics of individuals that you look for? Mentors, consultants, coaches, those that are at a position that are at success, the success that you desire, can be part of your mastermind. And then there's your peer group, those that are all at the same level looking to achieve the kind of success that you want. They share similar values and beliefs, and they have a burning desire to rewrite their beliefs. So this is one of the most important elements that I recommend that you pay attention to for choosing a mastermind. Choose individuals that are okay with changing their deep identity of who they are to become the person they need to be to achieve the results that they want. They're eager and excited and okay with changing who they are within. They realize that who they are largely is a programming of experiences, of circumstances, of environments, of people from their past, and they are okay with changing it. Be around others that are okay with changing their values and beliefs around radically to make them in alignment with the vision that is in alignment with yours. If you don't pick individuals like these for your mastermind, you're going to find it very difficult and frustrating. They're not going to want to evolve because their point of evolution or their limitation is within their own mind based on a value and belief that they have within themselves. Number 7, applied faith. A state of mind through which your aims, desires, plans, and purposes are translated into their physical or financial equivalent. Faith. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. It is your ability to believe in your vision despite everything that you see within your awareness or people telling you of how it is. Not from a place of force, from a place of belief, from a place of absolute conviction. I don't like force, as I mentioned this to you earlier, because force infuses in your mind that resistance, and resistance is brought forth by the subconscious mind. If you have force within you, then you're going to receive force by the external world. In David Hawkins' Levels of Consciousness work, and I recommend you watch the videos that I did on power versus force and letting go, he talks about how in higher levels of consciousness, force does not exist, but the results exist just as abundantly, and if not in greater abundance than the possibility of applied force. In other words, you evolve yourself within so that your behaviors manifest from a place of grace and finesse and optimal in the environments where there is no resistance to bring forth your result. Now, you have to first have faith, because when you have faith, you will then find yourself automatically gravitating towards where those opportunities exist. And remember that this is a process. In the beginning, you're going to be tested on your faith. When you have faith in your vision, you will be tested by the external world, by people, by circumstances. Do you hold true to that vision that you have? The determining factor is going to be your faith. And the level of faith that you have is going to determine the level of consciousness that you have and the experiences required, or the experiences that you will have to bring forth your vision. If your faith is really high and you believe in yourself, not from a place of force, but from a place of absolute conviction, you're going to find yourself attracting people and opportunities that are going to help you bring forth that vision in a lot more of a place of grace, finesse, and ease. If you don't believe in what I'm saying right now, then you're going to create it accordingly to whatever way you choose to believe. But the belief that you have is your own choice. If you do not believe that you have a choice, then that's something that we have to evolve within ourselves, a value and belief that's identified within ourselves. There are values and beliefs that we have within ourselves that we're so rigidly holding on to, and we're absolutely convinced that it is so, that we even look to the external world that surrounds us, and there's countless proof that validates that value and belief. But the truth is this: that value and belief that you have is just in your mind, and you can change it. No matter what kind of proof you are going to look for to validate a belief that you have, whether positive or negative, you will find. It will be revealed to you, and you won't have to look very far. And that is because it comes from within. The kingdom of heaven is within you, as Jesus said. The Garden of Heaven, or the Garden of Eden, is within you. And the external world is a reflection of what is within. You don't go and change the external world. You change yourself within. You grow yourself. You evolve yourself. As Gandhi said, you be the change, and you observe as the external world changes. Your behaviors will manifest accordingly and will be optimal to influence change as well. And all this thing I'm talking about right now is realized when you have cultivated a certain degree of faith. So one of the key goals that you got to have is to cultivate more faith. And then Napoleon Hill mentioned this in Think and Grow Rich. Autosuggestion is the way. Affirmations and visualizing and emotionalizing the wish fulfilled is the way to transform your reality to be in alignment with your vision. Number 8, a pleasing personality. An attractive personality is assembled by controlling and guiding our emotions, practicing courtesy, and having a positive attitude towards ourselves and others. Whatever you do unto others, as far as physical actions, emotional actions, or mental thoughts towards them, you do unto yourself. This reality that we live in is a mirror of our own mind. And a pleasing personality puts out that energy and attracts accordingly. If you're not attracting pleasing personalities, then what we need to do is go deep within ourselves and keep evolving ourselves within. And then we'll start to notice that we're attracting more pleasing personalities because we are adjusting our pleasing personality within. Number 9, personal initiative. When you have a definite goal in mind and have the burning desire to achieve it, then opportunities for personal initiative are easy to find. We live in a rich source of opportunity. This world we live in is a rich source of opportunity. If you do not believe that this world that you live in is a rich source of opportunity, then you do not see the opportunity within your own mind. You haven't realized that you are sitting right now on your own acres of diamonds. And your acres of diamonds is your own mind, your Garden of Eden, your kingdom of heaven. Now, if you want more understanding on this topic, I recommend watching the last video I did on Acres of Diamonds and watch it over and over again, autosuggestion, till you realize that you have the opportunity within you. And when you realize that you have opportunity within you, then you'll value the video that I did on Opportunity by Eben Pagan. I recommend you watch that. And you will start to also value the video that I did on Jay Abraham's book, Mr. X. And you will see that there's so many things within your control that you might not have seen before, that you could work with. Assets, resources, time, your energy, people, to create the results that you want. And this personal initiative starts with your mind, your definite goal. You see, once you've got a vision, which is infinite intelligence giving it to you, then everything starts to change when you start to nourish and encourage and support that vision. You'll start to see opportunities where you've never seen before. People will show up. Areas that seem difficult in your life, you'll figure out ways to overcome it. You got to have faith in what I'm talking about. And you got to put out that energy through the pleasing personality. And then you've got to take optimal action. Now it says here, personal initiative is easy to find. Or it says then opportunities for personal initiative is easy to find. And I'll add to that by saying the behaviors will be easier to take and execute upon those opportunities. Why would I say that? Well, I've done a lot of research in the psychology of an entrepreneur over the last 20 years that I've been studying this stuff. And one of the things that I found is that entrepreneurs that are focused on their vision automatically manifest behaviors and take initiative. They don't need to be told to do it. They just do it. They have a strong drive from within. One of the conversations that I've been reflecting upon lately that I've been having with everyone is how much somebody who creates rapid success or abundance of success in their life believes themselves to be the cause of reality. They believe that their reality is 100% within their mind. Those that do not have the ability to create success, do not have the ability or the desire to even take initiative, believe that they're very reactive to the world. The world is happening to them. You can have a conversation with anybody and you can determine the level of how much they believe that they're at the cause, that they are the creator of reality or the effect of reality, or a combination of the two. But the important thing in relation to this point number 9, is if you want to see yourself as a person that influences and creates reality, you've got to practice it by taking more initiative. Because the more initiative you take, the more you'll realize that you're influencing reality. And then you'll start to track that back and you'll say, when I influence reality, this happens in this way, positive. And when I do something else, this happens maybe in the negative. But I'm the cause of that. What is driving the negative outcome and what is driving the positive outcome? It's my thoughts. It's the way I think. It's the way I believe reality to work. Wait a second. It's me that's creating this. It's me that's causing this. I am the cause. How far can I take this? What if I saw myself as 100% the cause of reality? Now that sounds like a very bold statement, but there's a lot of individuals that I've met that see themselves as 100% the cause of the reality, directly and indirectly. And as a result of that, I've noticed that those individuals have the highest degree of success. Number 10, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a feeling of confidence and harmony in working towards your inspiring goal. Enthusiasm comes from within to intensify your faith and motivate you to massive action towards success. So now we're really getting deep. The answers are within you. The Garden of Eden is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and it is expressed by your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. And enthusiasm comes from within you. And enthusiasm is reflected outwards by individuals who want to be around you. Who does not want to be around an enthusiastic person? Opportunities go towards the person that is enthusiastic. A person that is enthusiastic, lives from a place of enthusiasm, will be able to see the acres of diamonds, will be able to see opportunity where others see failure, will take the necessary action despite the fear or the rejection, because they realize that the fear is in their own mind. And it's through the repetition of taking action through the fear that they determine their own fate. They're willing to go where others are not going to go and will thus experience in reality what others will never experience in reality, because it's their enthusiasm that will drive them through the faith, or I should say not faith, but the fear, the indecision, and the doubt. And faith, yes, will be fueling them. Number 11, controlled action. Controlled action is the principle that commands you to focus actively and exclusively on those things you desire to achieve. Where concentration goes, energy flows. This is an interesting world that we live in. As mentioned, your mind is the Garden of Eden. And you can direct your thoughts and your attention wherever you want into your mind. Where do you direct it? As a result of where you direct your thoughts and how you direct your thoughts and the energy that you put out and the positive mental and attitude and the energy that you have positively within you influences this massive mass of ether or whatever this is in the external world to bring forth that positive outcome. This is like a purpose in life, is to learn how to do this, how to create in life. And what you put your attention on, you are creating. If you put your attention on what you can do about circumstance in a positive way, now you're putting controlled attention positively, and you will find a way to overcome that circumstance, no matter what it is. Look at history and those that have created positive change in the lives of others, brought forth success, not only for themselves, but others, and realize that it was their controlled attention and their different way of looking at reality when everybody else looked at it a certain way. They looked at it different because they believed in themselves. They had the enthusiasm within it. And it was reflected outwards by controlled attention, giving that positive attention to that circumstance and finding a way and transforming it. Number 12, teamwork. All achievement is a form of significant and successful cooperation and teamwork between individuals based on willingness and free contribution. Inspiring teamwork assures rapid and meaningful success. Now, how do you stimulate positive teamwork? Well, it's you. It's always been you. It's never been anyone else but you. You are the one. You create reality, and you bring forth people in the spirit of harmony and teamwork based on what you think. If you think positively, and thought is very deeply rooted, as James Allen said, and you go into your thoughts and you keep nurturing and cultivating positive thoughts within you, you're going to attract the kind of teammates, the team that you want. See, there's a habit when somebody blames the external world, their team, for their efforts or their lack of control or lack of initiative, whatever. They need to look within themselves and realize that they don't have it. It's easy to blame the external world. It's a lot more challenging to take responsibility, because by taking responsibility, all of a sudden you find yourself at the cause. And for a lot of people who do not embrace seeing themselves as the creator of their own reality, they might find some kind of comfort in recreating negative scenarios from their past because it keeps them at a certain level. In order to get to the next level of success, to contribute to that higher level of vision, you have to change within. That means what you believe in has to evolve into a higher level of abundance, higher level of prosperity, higher level of contribution. In other words, you have to take more responsibility. And if your teamwork or your teammates or those on your team are not taking responsibility or as much responsibility as you'd like, it is because you are not taking as much responsibility. They are you. They are a reflection of you. Everything is a reflection of you as far as your vision and the steps and the goal for creating business success. Your business is a reflection of you. So thus, it's important to, when it comes to teamwork, is to inspire from within by being. Reflecting upon the best practices for cultivating teams, bringing teams together, leading teams, and realizing that you are the one that is at the cause and you go first. One of my favorite concepts comes from neuro-linguistic programming, and it goes like this: you go first. No matter what you do in life, you go first. Don't wait for another person to go. And when you infuse yourself with positive mental states, positive mental thinking, the desire to go first is automatic. You don't have to force yourself to go first. You have a burning desire, a massive desire to go first, and others will follow suit, because the external world is a reflection of who you are. Number 13, learning from defeat. Experiencing failures is inevitable. Accepting it or mastering it is up to you. You choose whether challenges, adversity, and failure are stepping stones or stumbling blocks in your path to success. See, the choice is yours. You have the power, and the power is within you. And you can choose positive thoughts, everything else that is in the Garden of Eden. Or you could choose the negative thoughts, the disempowering thoughts, the fear-based thoughts, otherwise known as the forbidden fruit. The choice is yours, and whatever you choose, you're going to create. And it's the thought that you choose. That's the fruit. And the result that you get is based on the fruit that you eat. So, if everybody in your reality, or most people in your reality, or a lot of people in your reality are choosing negative thoughts, it doesn't mean that you have to. We've discussed extensively through the videos so far, and it's important to watch these over and over again so that you can really realize the depth and magnitude of what I'm saying here. That you become what you think about. Your reality is a net manifestation of your thoughts. And we're talking about entrepreneurship and business building here. So what we're looking to do is maintain as much control. As far as creating success goes in your life, you have far more control than you realize. And it's about time that you start taking the control back into your own hands, into your own mind, through the realization that you have control. And from there, you can choose your thoughts. See, if you don't believe that you can choose your thoughts, as you believe, so it shall be done unto you. So you can choose how you can look at a circumstance that is defeat, that is failure. And you can change the meaning around, and you can find things that you can do to move you forward. You can find those things. They are existing. They are there. Number 14, creative vision. Learning and applying the skill of using your imagination beyond fear and self-imposed limitations brings endless opportunities for success and achievement. Creative vision prompts your subconscious mind to tap into the wisdom of infinite intelligence in getting breakthrough solution for any challenge. Creativity is the reason why we solve problems in the world. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. If you look at how far we've come as a civilization, you realize that everything as far as the results of positivity that we have created in humanity comes from somebody's vision and belief and imagination that it is possible. Breakthroughs in technology and science and evolution are a net result of somebody first believing it's possible, learning from defeat, testing, optimization, working as a team, controlled attention of constant focus on the desired outcome with enthusiasm, personal initiative, faith, having a mastermind, intelligent individuals who are surrounding them, who support that vision, the discipline, accurate thinking, keeping into consideration the elements of spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, geared towards a definite purpose. That's how we create breakthroughs in the various arts, the various sciences, the various aspects of entrepreneurship and reality. And we learn all these kind of things by understanding and valuing that we have this faculty in the mind called the imagination. And I believe that this imagination comes from infinite intelligence. In other words, if you believe it's possible to create something in reality, you set forth the necessary processes. You attract the necessary information. You take the necessary actions. You work with the necessary elements, and you'll discover them because you're looking for them to bring forth that vision. Creative vision prompts your subconscious mind to tap into the wisdom of infinite intelligence. See, the way this works is that you have within you your subconscious mind that is a storehouse of all different kinds of values, beliefs, information, learnings, and understandings that comes from various experiences that you have in your life, both positive and negative. And you can tap into that knowledge to bring forth your vision. You can reconstruct everything. You can even change disempowering beliefs and experiences that you've had in your past into empowering ones. How many individuals have we met in life that have turned failure or harsh scenarios? Countless books have been written on this. Countless discussions have been had by individuals who had extreme hardship. One of my favorite books is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And extreme hardship, and the meaning was given to it from a place of empowerment. And as a result of that, many lives have been transformed because they too look at circumstances that they have and then they say, what can be done about this? What can we do about this? And they work towards finding a way. Budgeting time and money. Taking regular inventory on how you spend your time and money is a great tool to maximize and use them effectively. Now, to me, this goes beyond just budgeting time and money. This is about resourcefulness, being resourceful, valuing what you have right now, understanding that you have everything within your awareness to move forward towards your vision, having absolute faith and conviction that everything that you have is within your awareness and you can work with it, is a matter of valuing it. And if you do not value money, if you do not value energy, if you do not value your time, then how are you ever going to see what is really in front of you? To me, not valuing, not planning from a place of organizing, and not really cultivating the degree of value towards money, time, resources is a matter of not looking, not seeing, denial. It's a matter of not looking at things from a more educated perspective, organized planning, specialized knowledge, as Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich. See, core capability is resourcefulness, and you can practice resourcefulness with money, budgeting time and money. It's not about being cheap, it's about the practice of valuing what you have, because the more you can value what you have right now, the more you can work with it, and the higher of a magnitude you can work with it to create greater and greater levels of success. In fact, it's called investing. You can invest your time, your energy, your resources, your opportunity cost. You can invest into what you want to create based on what you have right now. You have everything that you need right now, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, to bring forth your vision. And it's the valuing of everything that you do and the resources that you have that is going to allow you to tap into creative ways to do this. So practice this with budgeting time and money. Number 16, maintaining sound physical and mental health. Sound health is essential to success. It starts in the subconscious mind and is attained through conscious decision and unwavering determination and willpower. Mental attitude affects health, and it is something that you can control. Positive thinking and the feeling good generates harmony within your body. When you have a positive mental energy or positive mental attitude, you feel better. You're more energized. You're more likely to choose the healthy foods because you don't feel stressed out. You're more likely to take action and exercise and preserve and encourage that feeling of well-being. Thus, as a result, your health will improve. You're less likely to consume destructive foods that destroy the body. You're more likely to infuse yourself with positive food and positive exercise and positive behaviors and actions that uplift your body physically. Thus, the mental thoughts, your subconscious mind, has the ability to manifest positivity in the physical body. Now think about this for a moment. Someone who has a negative attitude towards life is more likely to be destructive to their body. They're more likely to consume destructive substances and eat destructive foods. Someone who has a positive energy actually, and a positive way of thinking, respects themselves to a higher degree, and they're more likely to choose healthy foods, healthy behaviors, and healthy environments. Thus, creating a healthy lifestyle, a healthy body, healthy emotions, and healthy life, and healthy mind. Number 17, using cosmic habit force, universal law. Fly to the destinations of your choice by using the natural law of cosmic habit force. It takes self-discipline to watch and manage your thoughts. Establish positive habits. They result in a happy, healthy, successful you. When you develop a positive habit, the habit develops you. Your life is a result of the habits you have formed. Now, we've gotten into a very lengthy discussion in this video, and many of these, if not all of them, can be integrated into habits. You can make a commitment to yourself right now that you are going to incorporate even just a handful of elements, key points that were discussed in this video. And you can do this with repetition to form a habit. A good video to watch is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg to really understand how habits are formed. And as mentioned earlier, one of my greatest abilities right now are not abilities that I force myself to do, but have been cultivated at net result of habits that I instilled in myself throughout this journey. And you are on this journey. And we're all on this journey. And we're all in different stages of this journey, but we all have right now the ability to infuse and to integrate even more positive habits. One of the things that I do every single day is I take notes on the disempowering negative beliefs that come up. And I ask myself, what happens as a result of these negative beliefs? What kind of behaviors are manifested? Because behaviors manifest as a result of negative thinking. Positive behaviors manifest as a result of positive thinking also. So what behaviors are manifesting as a result of this negative thinking? And how can I change the value or the belief that I have, the identity level element that I have within myself, and I go to change it within myself. And as a result, I have room and capacity to now integrate another behavior, a more empowering behavior. And then I make a commitment to myself that I'm going to do that behavior every day until it forms a habit. And you do this on the journey as you increase your success and go to higher and higher levels of success. Identify yourself with a successful image, as Irving Ben Cooper did. Who will you select? So now that we've talked about this, who do you want to become? What's the kind of business that you want to create? What is the net result of of what you are looking to achieve? And understand that if you have that in your mind, and if you visualize that, and you can imagine that to be so, then the tools that we've discussed so far will help you get there. Ask yourself an important question. What will your picture say to you? Listen for the answer. Now, when you imagine yourself, seeing yourself as this person, do you get any doubts, fears, and hesitation? Take note of them. These are indicators. These are revelations about what's in your subconscious mind, and you can change those elements. You can take inventory. And by the way, as mentioned, I do this as a daily process. When you determine your definite aims, there is a tendency for several hundred or several additional success principles to begin to operate automatically to help you achieve them. So when you just set your vision on your goal, or you set your vision, and you put your mind on your goal, and you keep your mind on your goal, automatically you'll find yourself doing these principles. See, as I mentioned earlier, this is not about force. You don't have to apply force to achieve success. You could do it from a place of grace, finesse, and I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just saying this stuff. This is stuff that I do for myself. This is how I work with my clients. And this is how countless people I know create success. They're not stressing themselves out. You can create success by stressing yourself out. As you believe, so it shall be done unto you. Or you could do it from a place of stimulation. Now, this doesn't mean you don't do anything. You're taking actions. You're changing your behaviors. You're choosing to do one thing versus another, but it's the energy of where you do it from. You're motivated and you're inspired. You have to first believe that this is possible. And one of the key things that we have to keep into consideration is that when you have a vision and you focus on your vision and you make it about your vision and you meditate upon your vision and you develop the burning desire, the success behaviors, these principles will manifest automatically, and it doesn't require force. And the more you recognize that, the more you form habits. And this cycle keeps continuing over and over again until you create higher and higher levels of success. Clear the cobwebs of your thinking. Negative feelings, emotions, passions, prejudices, beliefs, habits, you can clear these out by a positive mental attitude, these things that we talk about. When you are faced with a problem that involves misunderstanding with other persons, you must first start with yourself. Remember, I mentioned this many times throughout my videos, is that the external world is a reflection of who you are. It is who you are. And so it's easy to blame another person. It's easy to look down upon another person. That's the lazy way of doing things. The real challenge and the real test of your character and faith is to dig deep within yourself and recognize where you're doing that thing in some shape or form. And recognize that person is revealing to you about yourself and change yourself within. Resist the urge to talk negative about another person because you create them to be that way. You think they don't feel it? Think positively, speak positively about everyone, and you will notice that they will become that to you, or you will attract other individuals that are related to that thought that you have, that positive way of looking at reality. One word can cause an argument, develop misunderstanding, generate unhappiness, and end in misery. One word with a positive mental attitude, when compared to the same word with a negative mental attitude, brings opposite effects. One word can bring peace or war, yes or no, love or hate, integrity or dishonesty. So the goal here is to choose your words and to realize that we're on a journey of constant evolution, of becoming even more refined with our words. You can have a conversation with somebody, you can listen to somebody as you walk down the street talking, and based on their choice of words, you can determine and you can look at their reality, and you'll know exactly what they're creating. This is very powerful. This is a great exercise. One of my favorite things to do is just listen to how a person communicates, because then I could see how their reality is shaped as a result of what they're saying. And if I ask them about their reality, it is with striking accuracy that the way they communicate, what they say, is in a mirror reflection to their reality. They create their own reality. And this gives me an important validating point to what we're discussing so far. That it's the words that we choose, what we say when we talk to ourselves, when no one's around, how we communicate, that reveals to us about ourselves and about our reality. And when we adjust our words, when we choose consciously to discuss topics of empowerment, when we look at situations, and it's not about sugarcoating, it's about looking for how things can be solved, looking at the positive way of producing results. Because remember, we're not just trying to sound nice, we're being effective here, we're influencing. We're influencing with our words. We're looking at the vision and saying, what is the choice of words that we can generate from within ourselves that is going to drive this energy of ourselves and the external world towards that vision? So guilt is one of those important elements that we need to work on and overcome within ourselves. As mentioned earlier in this video, when we learn from others in earlier stages of life, parents, teachers, and so forth, while their heart is in the right place, they teach us by throwing in shame. So if you do a bad behavior, they shame you for it, and you experience this shame and guilt feeling. One of the things that happens is that you might stop that behavior, but then later in stages of life where you are trying to achieve success, that shame and guilt prevents you from living the life that you want. So what we need to do is make peace with them. Okay, don't blame them. Realize that they were doing the best that they could. They didn't have access to this knowledge. And go within yourself and remove these feelings of shame and guilt. And here's a formula that was recommended. Listen to advice, a lecture, sermon, etc., and relate and assimilate the principles as you're doing right now. Learn about yourself and study the different sources of information. There's many videos on YouTube of lectures about how to overcome shame, guilt, fear within yourself, feeling like you're not worthy, not good enough, imposter syndrome, and things like that. And learn the principles that they teach, including the ones that I teach over here, to help you overcome this. Number 2, count your blessings and thank God for them. Because here you are right now. You have the opportunity to listen to this. You have everything you need right now to create the results you want. You have brought yourself to this discussion, to this lecture right now. And from here, you can choose what you want to do. And you probably realize now that you have far more choices than you thought possible. And that's one of my aims for you through these videos, is to raise your awareness, to help you realize that you have far more opportunity, you have far more choices, you have far more ability than you think possible. C, then become truly sorry for your wrongdoings. True sorrow, necessary incorporates a sincere decision to stop the wrongdoing. So be sorry, apologize that you made a mistake, and don't beat yourself up for that mistake that you made. Understand that you did the best that you could. You didn't have the specialized knowledge, you didn't have the education, you didn't have the mastermind, you didn't have these things we're talking about right here, and you did the best that you could. And don't allow yourself to feel that shame and guilt. Move on. One of my favorite concepts that I learned from E-Myth Revisited, Michael Gerber's E-Myth Revisited, is that it's not a people's problem, it's a systems problem. So when you're building a business, it's important to incorporate systems. And if there's an issue, don't beat yourself up, don't beat your team, and take responsibility for it. Do the best you can to resolve it, and put a system in place. And evolve that system into higher and higher levels of success. D, take the step forward. Acknowledge your guilt and your intentions to make amends. So if you hurt anyone in the process, go and solve that with them. Make amends with them. Make peace. Learn from your mistakes and be the example so that they too don't shame and guilt themselves when they make a mistake, and they understand that it is possible, we're human, we make mistakes, and we're on this journey to growing to higher and higher levels of success. No matter where you are in life, what level of success that you have, you're going to make mistakes, because that's how you learn, that's how you grow. Don't shame yourself when you make a mistake. Embrace yourself. Love yourself, care for yourself, and be the example of it. Make amends insofar as you are able. And then finally, memorize, understand, and try to apply the golden rule in your dealings with others, which is this: do unto others as you wish them do unto you. Put out well-being, put out positivity, put out a place of support, of care, contribution. And realizing that it's about growth. We're in this together. We're a team. Every one of us are a team. All of us in humanity are a team together, moving towards bringing forth into reality the vision of infinite intelligence, divine manifestation. Or, if you don't see yourself as someone who's a spiritual person, you can say evolution, We're all together here working towards evolution. And one of the ways we do it is by supporting each other, by not instilling guilt in ourselves and each other. And realize that if you are a person that instills guilt, it's probably because past circumstances taught you that the way you educate others is through guilt. And that is a way, but it brings about all these negative behaviors in them and in yourself, and there's a better way of doing it. Learn to see. Take a look, a good look, and recognize what you see. There may be acres of diamonds within your own backyard. As mentioned, learning to see is about awareness. It's about your ability to now, as a result of going through this video, have a heightened degree of awareness of what you can do, and it's a recognition and realization that it comes from your way of thinking. You have within your mind everything in reality that you have ever learned, and it's there, and you can tap into it, and you can even tap beyond it and connect with infinite intelligence, and you can, as a result of that, bring forth your vision. And looking at the external world now, at this stage, should feel a little different. See the external world as a reflection of who you are. Have appreciation for yourself and the external world, that you are reflecting onto the external world what is within your conscious and your subconscious mind. And use that as information as you evolve yourself within. That's what we're talking about when we say learn to see. And don't be nearsighted, look to the future. Cypress Gardens became a reality because Richard Pope saw it as a definite future objective. So what is it that you're looking to create? Think about the long-term implications of your thoughts. One of my favorite elements of the Kabbalion is cause and effect. And we constantly get better at recognizing cause and effect. Your thoughts, the way you think, has implications in the short term, the medium term, and the long term. You might say, okay, well, I'm going to just loosely talk the way I'm talking right now. And it may sound negative, but hey, what's the long-term implication of this? You may not realize that someone is listening and it's influencing their behaviors. What you put out comes back to you. So you're creating in reality, co-creating with others. And if you just loosely use your words and they create some negativity, then you are also responsible for that. Your words have a lot of power. And the implications of every word that you choose is not just short-term, but long-term as far as the creation process. So recognize how what you say will have an impact on someone tomorrow, a week from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, 100 years from now, and beyond. And realize that what you put out comes back to you. Now, when you practice awareness, when you understand the levels of consciousness, and you continuously raise your level of consciousness through the various things that we've discussed all throughout this channel, you'll be able to see further. You'll be able to see a lot further. And it'll be amazing on how much influence you can have and how much contribution you can make towards bringing your vision a reality, and how much you can pull people together, and how many opportunities you have to make your vision come true that you never saw before as a result of allowing yourself to see further. See another person's abilities, capabilities, and viewpoint. You may be overlooking a genius. The story of Thomas Edison is a good example. In Stephen R. Covey's 7 Habits, one of the habits is seek first to understand, then to be understood. And I love to understand. Just understand people. You don't even necessarily have to be understood, but just invest the time to understand people who have diverse ways of looking at reality. You might be so adamant about your way of looking at reality, but understand something, that that's another person, and there's probably a reason why they see reality. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but just understand why they see reality the way they do. If you seek to understand another person's ability, you will discover elements about yourself that you never saw within yourself because you were blinded to see it. People reveal to you about yourself. And if you block off trying to learn from them, not understand them, then you are blocking off learning about yourself. This doesn't mean that you have to go around and try to get to know everybody. Just whoever's within your presence, whoever is important in your life, value them further, understand them deeper. you could always understand people deeper and deeper and deeper. And as a result of that, you'll understand yourself deeper because you're creating them based on how you see reality. You're giving them meaning. However they appear to you, however you believe themselves to be, or you believe them to be, is how you believe yourself to be. And you can expand the horizons of understanding of what's within yourself, which helps you see more. You can understand cause and effect better and implications. You can understand how they chose the behaviors that they chose, why they chose them. And maybe you had some level of ignorance before and thought of them as negative or bad because they chose their behaviors. But then really sitting down with them and looking at their circumstances in life and who they are and their goals and desires and their unique contributions to the world, you might end up transforming yourself into somebody that has great compassion and understanding and even supportive of them. Because remember, one of the things that we want to do is instill in others this positive mental attitude, pleasing personality being one of the important elements. And what we don't want to do is guilt and shame others. Realize that the reason why we guilt and shame ourselves, if you do that, to yourself and others, is because that's the way you learned how to do stuff, and you don't have to do that. Which brings me to my next point. How do you motivate others? Throughout life, you play dual parts in which you motivate others and they motivate you. So remember, we brought this up earlier. In earlier stages of life, you might be motivated or taught a lesson from a place of shame and guilt. And now that you have a heightened degree of awareness, you understand how this works, you're going to break that cycle. You're not going to motivate others through shame and guilt. You're going to inspire. Now, this takes skill, and this is a very lengthy discussion. And I infuse it as much as I can in my Instagram posts, on my courses, in my consulting, in my videos, and so forth. However, it is possible. Learn and apply the art of motivation with a positive mental attitude. Teach and educate others by being more compassionate and understanding the implications of what you teach and how you teach them. Motivate others to have confidence in themselves by showing them that you have faith in them and faith in yourself. This is very important. Everything we're talking about here is about instilling faith in you. And the more you value this information and integrate it, the more you will automatically instill faith in others. You'll instill confidence in others. One of the questions that get asked a lot is, how do you raise self-confidence? Well, you raise self-confidence, one of the key ways is by going in and removing the shame and guilt that you have towards yourself and allow yourself to express, knowing that you are good. People are basically good, as Earl Nightingale put it, and I believe it. And we just learn all these negative beliefs because we're taught. And we don't need to blame the person who taught us this way. I understand that they did the best that they could, but we have to take responsibility to change this within. And as we remove shame and guilt, we start to express ourselves more. We don't have qualms around certain key topics and key areas in life. And we express ourselves fully. And as a result of being around people, we allow them to feel our energy, and they start to say, wait a second, someone can actually be this way, where they can express themselves and they can have confidence in themselves and they can get what they want without being negative and putting other people down. This universe really is abundance or abundance-based, because at the end of the day, this person lives in abundance. Motivate others by suggestion. Be the change. Live the philosophy. Integrate. Don't go around telling people this stuff and don't do it. And understand that you can also do it to a higher degree. That's what we mean by suggestion. When you show up, influential leaders have the ability to walk into a room and influence others into positive action by being in that room. It's called Wei Wu Wei. It's a very, very powerful philosophy and understanding. You evolve to that understanding. Now, you start by motivating yourself through self-suggestion, affirmations, positive affirmations about yourself that remove disempowering programming. To become enthusiastic, act enthusiastically. And how do you become more enthusiastic? Well, autosuggestion. Create affirmations that are related towards enthusiasm. Infuse yourself with those affirmations. Consume them from a place of faith integrate these principles that are being discussed in this book and what I'm talking about right here, and you'll notice yourself behaving different. You'll notice yourself more passionate and excited. That will be contagious. People will pick up on it, and that's how you bring people together to bring forth your vision, and that is how you achieve success through a positive mental attitude. If you want to copy this mind map, the link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.